Can you believe it's been almost a month and a half since I've made a video on Onision? I know, it's amazing. I can actually make other content outside of that. Today we're going to be doing a deep dive into the Reddit side of Onision, because some interesting things have happened on Reddit, and as of making this video literally last week, the things that you're about to see have all been, well, deleted. The moment people started making a connection to who this person was posting as on Reddit, posts all the way back to almost 2 to 3 years ago were instantaneously deleted on the account, poof, like it never happened. And if you know about Greg, he certainly has a little trend trying to erase history when it comes to things that he posts. Before we get into the lies of Onision, special thanks to our sponsor today, Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is stunningly beautiful. Just take a look at this.
Look at these graphics. They're absolutely insane, especially for a mobile game. These are my current champions that I've been playing. Raid Shadow Legends includes dungeons, clan bosses, PvP, raiding, but most of all, it's an in-depth RPG, story-ridden experience. But the best part of all is it's absolutely free for mobile and desktop PC. They've also added a brand new battle pass every day for new treasures and goodies.
You can find me in the game under the name Repzion, join my clan, fight alongside me, and get lots and lots of rewards every single day. And if you're a brand new player, you're going to receive 100,000 silver and 1 brand new champion.
Hexweaver, a very powerful dark elf. All this treasure will be waiting for you here. These rewards will only be available for the next 30 days.
Support the channel, click the link. Now on Reddit, there is an account titled Screwed by YouTube. This is one of the oldest posts, which falls into alignment with several videos that I made roughly almost 2 years ago, around the same time frame, where Onision announced that he was being audited by the IRS. I have made several videos on this topic. I'm not going to regurgitate a lot of information here. If you want to check them out, they're linked down below in the description. But basically, I made a video talking about Onision going bankrupt, in which Onision admits that he is being audited by the IRS because he used a tax deduction of his entire house, his cars, wedding rings, and all sorts of materialistic items that you cannot deduct as a business. For example, this apartment that I'm in, I do make money through making YouTube videos, and thus the square footage of this room is the only deductible amount that I can use on my taxes as a business. I cannot use the entire apartment. I can't use every single room. I can't use my car as a deduction unless I'm traveling for business reasons. I cannot buy my girlfriend a ring and then use that as a tax deduction. That's just not how taxes work. You're only supposed to be able to deduct things that you own and that you use for your business. This microphone, this camera lens, this microphone that you're listening here. Those are things that I use that can bring me income, thus those are the only things I can deduct. Well, see, Onision isn't a very smart guy, doesn't have a clue on how proper deductions work, so over the last 2013, 14, 15, 16, it would be a grand idea to deduct lots and lots of things that he otherwise couldn't. I was sent a letter by the IRS telling me that I was being audited for 2016, 15, and 14. I'm a YouTuber, so I claim lots of things as a business expense. My car, my office, my filming equipment, and computers. I've claimed lunches with other YouTubers as business lunches because that's what they are. TaxAudit.com is helping, but they're telling me that the IRS needs the details about what was discussed at these lunches 2014. I have no idea. They've requested receipts for equipment I bought last year, and I don't have them. No one told me I needed to save them. I provided them with credit card statements, and that's not enough. I feel like I'm being charged as guilty without trial. I stand to owe them as much as $300,000. I could lose almost everything. I wasn't educated in taxes. It makes business sense to me to be able to claim my house so I don't have to pay interest. TurboTax should have informed me rather than acting like my taxes were filed correctly when they weren't. There's an old saying, garbage in, garbage out. TurboTax is a glorified calculator. It makes calculations based on what you enter. If the information you enter is garbage, it will be garbage. This man's response is absolutely correct. I mentioned this almost 2 years ago in my last video where I talked about when he was blaming TurboTax, because it's a software, okay? It's a software on your computer. You enter numbers, your income, the deductions of certain things, and it does a calculation on things that you owe and deductions. It's an automatic process, basically. It's a tax calculator. That's how it works. And if it seems okay, it gives you a check mark, and if it doesn't, it sometimes gives you an X. But it's basic. TurboTax is based upon what you enter, what you physically put. So if you put wrong information, it's going to calculate wrong information, thus give you a wrong result for your taxes. Not a complicated thing. I'm not a tax professional. I have a personal CPA because it's really confusing when you have to do lots and lots of deduction. I want to make sure that I'm paying my taxes properly. But this never occurred to him at any point because who, asks for help? Greg's not one of those people. I just find it hilarious that even years later, he still can't take responsibility for simple things by saying, you know what, I didn't know this, I screwed up, I made the mistake. No, here, let me blame the software where I enter wrong information. Oops. TurboTax screwed me over, can I sue them? I just absolutely love his responses. Then it's not tax fraud, genius. You could easily look up the definition of fraud and see that it needs to be deliberately done, but you guys never look at the facts. You know, this is definitely Greg based upon how he's speaking. Now, all these past posts on Reddit by Onision, the connection was made and these older posts were deleted when he made a post several weeks ago on, again, Reddit, talking about his property and people who are trespassing on it. How do I stop people from trespassing on my property? I've been having issues with people trespassing on my property, even though I have signs posted. They have gone as far as to take photos and videos of my home. I have several security cameras installed to record them trespassing. The police have still been unhelpful, but I'm afraid for the safety of my family. I've called 911 and they've talked to them, and they said it was okay for them to be there as long as they just wanted to talk. Different individuals have shown up several times doing the same thing, like taking photos and generally snooping on my property. Are there any specific actions I can take? A user suggests to build a very tall fence around his whole property. Another user pops in, says it was actually Chris Hansen, who was under investigation by the FBI. The whole of Chris Hansen showing up at his house, and he says, "No, I don't know them. They're random people. I can't build a fence on the front of my property in my neighborhood. That's not an option." Someone mentions that his name is Greg, and he responds, "My name isn't Greg." Well, that's because he changed it to James only a few months ago. So because he changed his name, he thinks that he's not being called out. Sure, Greg's legal name is James Jackson now, not Greg. But this is the type of little mind games that Onision plays. No, I'm not. I have no idea where you're getting this from. You're getting me mixed up with another person entirely. That's pretty embarrassing for you guys. I don't know what you're talking about. These were all in responses to saying that he is Greg James Jackson, aka Onision. Now, there had been some talks this person was actually pretending to be Onision, kind of trolling. When people started making this correlation, he went back on his Reddit post and deleted all the stuff in regards to the IRS, the audit, and TurboTax. He made a total of 3 Reddit posts talking about the IRS, and he owes a large sum of money, and he deducted all these things that he wasn't supposed to deduct. The same statements that he said in his video roughly almost 2.5 years ago, which I also covered. At this point, you're not going to convince me otherwise that this isn't him. He writes like him, he talks like him, and yes, I can't prove 100% certainty, but allow me to kind of make another case that this is him. There's a Reddit post of a car being driven in snow, and he posted, "It's actually smarter to drive faster in the snow than slower because it causes people to whip around you, and it can cause situations like this. Luckily, my vehicle has an auto-deploy system, so I'll never have to worry about getting stuck like this." Someone replies, "Hello, Onion Man." Someone else replies, "You ever use that mindset to drive faster to a CPA?" Now that's a good burn if I've ever seen one. But the reason that I bring up this post specifically that he suggested on, by saying that if it's snowing, you should drive faster. As someone who's been driving for over 10 years, let me just say, you're wrong, and that is very, very dumb what you just said. If it is actually hazardous and snowing, the last thing you want to do is drive faster. That what you just said doesn't make any sense. But if we go back in Onision's history, there are actually 2 videos where he talks about, there was 3, but I couldn't find the 3rd. There's 2 videos about him having a car accident in which he hit a deer and totaled his car. Now the reason that I bring this up is because if I recall, and I couldn't find the video, it's somewhere, somebody has it, I couldn't find it, but there's 2 videos of him talking about the car accident that he had. And in this video, which is right here, he mentions that he doesn't brake, ever.
The thing is that whenever I come close to getting in a car accident, I do evasive maneuvers. I wouldn't recommend this to any of you necessarily, because I don't want to be liable, and I don't want you to actually get in a car accident. Terrible, more awkwardness, okay. But what I would do is swerve whenever I was about to hit someone. Like, I would attempt braking, but braking wasn't responding fast enough, so I would just swerve in every incident. And
when he's driving, he doesn't brake when he's about to hit something, or if he's going too fast, he doesn't brake. But the fact that he thinks that swerving into other lanes instead of just braking on your car is a plausible, better solution to avoid getting in a car accident, and the fact that if it's snowing, you should speed faster, and the fact that when he did hit a deer back in, I think it was 2010, and totaled his car, the reason I bring up this car advice that he suggests here, that he swerves all the time instead of braking, and that you should go faster, is because it's so dumb, and only somebody as dumb as him would make a correlation to it's snowing and hazardous weather, allow me to go faster. I should drive faster in snow. It can cause people to whip around you. The problem is if you're driving in snow and people are trying to whip around you and it's already snowy and you're going fast, that car is gonna spin out and crash. You don't want to be swerving when it's snow and it's super slick outside. That's even more dangerous than simply just braking or rear-ending somebody. Because if you swerve, you're going to go in the opposite lane. You could have the potential to hit somebody head on. It's way more dangerous to swerve into other lanes than it is just to simply brake. Hey, I digress. I'm convinced that this is him. His speech patterns and all of the responses and the fact that he deleted this as soon as he got called out. There's no reason that a troll would need to delete past posts if it wasn't him. And everything that I've talked about in my past videos on these subjects of the IRS, it links perfectly with the timing and everything that he made on his channel. Did you know that you and I wouldn't know about the whole IRS tax audit thing if Greg never made a video announcing it to the public? Something that I also find hilarious is that Onision made a Discord post very recently saying this: I need some help. In 2008, I was diagnosed with chronic, D. I cannot find the document people posted of my diagnosis, but I'd like to see what was posted. Can you guys, if you have the time, try to find these documents that was posted of me being diagnosed by a psychiatrist and DM me the screenshot of the document? If you don't have the time, okay, just if you do. Anytime you or me have talked about something that is public information that he has done, such as like a legal document or something like that, you can obtain legally, publicly. He accuses anyone who talks about those things as being a creepy stalker. And now on Discord, he's telling people to go find some sort of medical document to give to him in order to prove that he has this thing. But if people like myself or anyone who he doesn't like does this thing that he's asking for them to do, he labels them stalkers and harassers. And it's just like, what? How do you not have record of your own medical issues? Are you asking the internet to find it for you, and then you condemn people who give that information to you? Doesn't make a lot of sense. And you know what makes even less sense? The fact that he's been emailing Blair White like crazy. Blair White released a video called Reading Onision's Manipulative Emails He Sent Me. I used to stand for something. I used to make great content and actually feel alive. Now all I felt is the sinking disappointment in human beings. I have felt disappointed in myself. I cannot continue to chase those views despite how easily it would be. I could continue to pretend. Okay, you chasing views is really difficult for you to do now. In order for you to roughly even get over 50,000 views on any video now, you typically have to make it about a past relationship and spread misinformation in order to get people to watch it. Which to me is really sad that the only way that you can get views is by exploiting your relationships. When we started YouTube, we all had ideas of what we wanted to do. Then the views came along, up essentially going to the dark side. The more money views we got, the more we felt rewarded. We felt like what we were doing was right. Now obviously I can't speak for Blair's intentions for the videos that she makes, but I do know that a lot of the videos that she makes is not monetized, meaning that she doesn't make any money off of it. In the same way, a lot of my Onision content, at least over 50% of it, is demonetized. Sure, views are nice, it's awesome to have people watch your content. There seems to be this infatuation with money. Greg, there's a lot more to life than money. I know that's why you think anybody makes content on you, is because it pays. But with my channel history and how many videos you've taken down and how many videos are demonetized simply because I call you a name here on YouTube, it's not always worth it to cover you. When I went after Social Repose, when I called them creeps, calling them numerous names, insisting they were dangerous to others, I was just like you. I was self-righteous. I was a social justice warrior and a self-proclaimed white knight here to protect all the damsels in distress. Oh, what a great hero I was. Greg, you were never a hero at any point in your career on this platform. I think both you and Jacqueline are essentially destroying your own potential by succumbing to outrage culture and the never-ending pursuit of video views. You will continue to be successful on this path you are. People have an opinion of me, and you're aligning yourself with that opinion. This means more likes, more views, yada yada. Actually, Greg, my opinion of you was never aligned by what people said about you. It was aligned by the behavior and words and things that you have said on your own YouTube channel. To dumb it down even in simpler terms, my opinion of you was created by you. It's really that simple. I don't fall into this category of aligning my dislike of somebody just because somebody said that they did this or that they don't like them. If I genuinely have an opinion of someone I don't like, it's because of things they typically have said, or I've done enough research to say, you know what, this person is not somebody who I really like. And what is with this argument over video views? I'm so sick and tired of hearing it. Did you know that Blair White, did you know that Jack and Glenn, did you know that me, did you know that every single creator on this platform, when we post a video on YouTube, its intent is to get views. Regardless of whether it's monetized or not, you and I post content on this platform for people to view it. That is not an argument. There's no argument to be made because that's the whole intent of YouTube, is for somebody to watch you and for you to get views. Now, granted, there are methods in which people will try to get more views by doing, bad things on the platform, or being, controversial for the sake of being a controversial, or saying things that are really screwed up just to say things that are screwed up. I do understand there is a difference between just uploading a video because you want it to be seen and people doing things with an intent to get more controversy or views out of a particular subject. But the root of the issue is that we're still posting it because we want it to get views. That's the point of YouTube. YouTube wouldn't exist if it wasn't for people watching content, thus providing views. So what is this argument about views? What relevancy does that serve when every creator's intention is the same? If making a video means hurting someone that you aren't even sure deserves it, you are wrong. If you think you are the decider of who should and who should not be hurt, you are wrong. Long story short, I know that you and Jacqueline could be amazing and beautiful in both your looks and personality, but right now, you're part of a toxic community. You are the faces of cancel culture, and it may cancel you too someday. I've already had people try to cancel me from old stuff that I posted when I was 15, 16 that I would never post now. Very common occurrence here on YouTube or social media overall. But the reason that it hasn't canceled me is because I've changed so much of my critical beliefs and ideologies since 15, 16 years old. I'm almost 29 now. I've had a lot of time to grow and develop and shift my perspectives on multiple issues throughout my life, which is still an ongoing development. But Jacqueline and Blair White and myself, we're not participating in cancel culture when it comes to you, Greg. I'm not out to cancel you. I'm just out to refute all of the crazy stuff that you publish that is so morally wrong, ethically wrong, and even ideologically wrong in some instances. This being the crux of what I use to determine the type of person you are. And this particular tweet, well, I've shown this tweet in multitudes of videos of mine, and I'm always just going to always reference this tweet as why I even care about responding to some of the things that you've said or done. It's because of things like this. This is the most crucial, destructive, horrible, toxic thing that you can possibly say, and actually does far more harm than good, and is just wrong on every sort of healing level that there is. This is not something that nobody normal says something like this. People are not out to cancel you. They're out to correct their wrong way of thinking and how morally and ethically and personally messed up and psychologically messed up that it can be to think like this. It's not a normal behavior. It's not a normal thought process. And it's things like this is why you've built a reputation for why nobody likes you. Very few people like you anymore. And it's because of things like this. And I don't understand why you can't see that. Have you ever addressed this tweet, Craig? Have you ever came to the conclusion like, you know what, I was wrong. I shouldn't have said this. This is not accurate. This is not true. No, you haven't. And it's because of that, years later, people will be talking about you until the very last day of where you quit your channel. It's just going to be the way it is. You've built a reputation of the #1 most hated person on the platform, and it's going to end that way with you.